यह भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम चैप्टर 1 प्रिलिमिनरी सेक्शन 1 2 सेक्शन 1 और 2 प्रिलिमिनरी चैप्टर 1 भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम रिसीव प्रेसिडेंशियल एसेंट ऑन 25 दिसंबर 2023। भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम BSA इज इन्फोर्स्ड फ्रॉम 1 जुलाई 2024 1/7/2024 एज पर preamble of the BSA 2023 the purpose of this act is to consolidate and to provide for general rules and principles of the evidence for fair trial. BSA has been divided into dash parts and dash chapters. 4 parts and 12 chapters. BSA जो है 4 parts में है और 12 chapters. How many sections and chapters are there in BSA? How many sections and their chapters are there in BSA? 170 sections and 12 chapters. Under section 1 of the BSA, the proceedings which are specifically excluded from the operation of the Indian evidence are proceedings before arbitrators. Proceedings before arbitrators are excluded. BSA does not apply to the proceedings before arbitrator and affidavit submitted by the deponent of his own. BSA यहाँ पे अप्लाई नहीं होता एफिडेविट और आर्बिट्रेटर के सामने. BSA applies to judicial proceedings. Select the incorrect statements using the code given below. The BSA does not apply to arbitration proceedings. The BSA does not apply to proceedings before a commissioner appointed by the court for recording of evidence. The BSA applies to affidavits presented to courts. The BSA applies to judicial proceedings held before all kinds of the military courts. 2 and 3 are incorrect. Which chapter of the BSA contains definition of certain terms? Which chapter? Chapter 1. Which section of the BSA contains definition of certain terms? Section 2. Section 2 में definition. Which word has not been defined under section 2 of the BSA? Confession is not defined. Confession is not defined under section 2. Which section of the BSA defines court? 1A में है, 2 का 1 का A है court. Which one of the following is not included in the expression court under the BSA? All judges, all persons legally authorized to take evidence, all magistrate. Not included in the expression court. कौन इसमें included नहीं है? Arbitrator जो है included नहीं है. The term court as defined in the BSA does not include arbitrator. Arbitrator जो है वो court में नहीं है. Conclusive proof. Which section of the BSA defines conclusive proof? Conclusive proof is 2(1)(b). B. Which one of fact is declared by BSA to be conclusive proof of another? The court on proof of one fact shall not allow evidence to be given for the purpose of disproving it. Under BSA, a court has no discretion regarding proof of a fact in context of conclusive proof. A fact is conclusive proof of another fact. If that fact is proved, then the court shall regard another fact as proved. Which section of the BSA defines may presume? 1 का H. May presume 1H. 2 का 1 का H. Whenever it is provided in the BSA that the court may presume a fact, it may call for proof of the fact. It may call for the proof of the fact. Which section of the BSA defines shall presume? 1 का L. Whenever it is directed by BNS that the court shall presume a fact, it shall regard such fact as proved unless it is disproved. What is shall presume in regard to a fact? Court shall presume the fact as proved unless it is disproved. Shall presume मतलब The court shall presume the fact as proved unless it is disproved. The BSA deals with both end of Primso presumptio juris only or presumptio huminis. Which section of the BSA defines disproved? 21C. A fact is said to be disproved if court believes that it does not exist. Court considers its non-existence so probable that a prudent man will act under a supposition that it does not exist. जब वो एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेगा तो उसको डिस्प्रूव्ड समझेंगे. Which section of the BSA defines proved? Section 1 का J. Proof is the result of. Proof is the result of evidence. A fact is said to be proved if its existence is so probable that a prudent man would accept it as existing. Which section of the BSA defines not proved? Not proved होगा 21I. A fact is said to be not proved when it is neither proved nor disproved. Not proved कब बोलेंगे? Neither proved होगा और not disproved होगा. Which section of the BSA defines document? 21D. Document. Document produced for inspection of the court includes a written document, caricature, and electronic and digital record, inscription on a stone. All the four are documents. Documents means any matter expressed or described upon any substance by means of all of the above. Letters, figures, marks, all are the documents. An inscription on a metal plate or a stone is a document. Which word has been used for the first time in the definition of document in BSA, which doesn't used in the definition of document in Indian evidence? डॉक्यूमेंट में वो कौन सा शब्द इस्तेमाल किया? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक और डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड. ये नया ऐड हुआ है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक और डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड. ये पहले इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट में नहीं था. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एंड डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड्स प्रोड्यूस्ड बिफोर द कोर्ट आर documentary evidence. Which of the following statement with reference to section 2D of the BSA is not correct? A caricature is not a document. Caricature जो है वो document होता है. Which illustration of section 21D is newly introduced in the BSA? Illustration 6. Which of the following kind of electronic record is a document? All the above. Which section of the BSA defines evidence? Evidence कौन सा है? 1 का ही evidence. Evidence. Evidence means and includes oral and documentary evidence. Which of the following statements are correct? Evidence under BSA means includes oral evidence, all documents except electronic records, all documents including electronic records. 1 and 3 only. Oral evidence means and includes statements given orally, statements given electronic. Both are oral evidence. Circumstantial evidence means indirect evidence. A is an accused of child's murder. The following facts are constructed in the case. An hour before the murder, A went to place of murder with the child. A alone returned home. Collar of A's shirt found to be blood-stained. The evidence which makes into account the above mentioned fact is called circumstantial evidence. In reference to circumstantial evidence, the circumstances from which the conclusion is drawn should be fully established. The circumstances should be conclusive in nature. All the facts so established should be consistent only with the hypothesis of the guilt and inconsistent with the innocence. The circumstances should, to a moral certainty, exclude the possibility of guilt of any other person than accused. 1, 2, 3 only. BSA does not expressly mention about circumstantial evidence. BSA does not expressly mention about circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence means evidence must satisfy the following test. All the above. An evidence sought through unfair means is admissible if relevant, and evidence sought through unfair means is admissible if relevant. Which of the following is relevant and may be received in evidence? All the above. Tape recordings, dog tracking, and narco analysis text. Which section of the BSA defines fact? one kind of fact. In the law of evidence, fact means and includes all the above. Anything perceived by senses, a state of things capable of being perceived by the senses, mental condition of a person of which the person is conscious.